Hello, my darlings. Good evening, and welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle ATL By Night, Chapter 7, The Calm Before the Storm. Let's welcome our vampires.
My name is Tyler Sutherland, playing Aaron Ulric.
I'm Brittany Trambauer-Smith, playing Melisende.
I'm Ian E. Muller, playing Elia Jackson.
Well, I'm Leona Roar, playing Thomasina, Elena, Cuesta.
Zachary Vaudo, playing Anton Krovopuskov.
And I'm your storyteller, Ellie Collins. Don't forget to check out our link tree in chat and support our wonderful sponsors. And for those that might not follow our other social medias, the guest players that you've been meeting all season will be taking over in season 9 as our main coterie. So these are our last couple episodes with the Shepherds as our full cast. And so join us as we see what trouble we can create with the time we have left. So now, why don't we sit back and relax and let's tell a vampire story. When last we saw our kindred, they welcomed a new Tremere into the city's already small fold, but not before having to defend themselves against a hunter who could only be the one called Vision. With 2 hunters accounted for and matching the threat left in the Second Inquisition building, that leaves only Mercy, of which they're likely to not have any. But tonight, we pick up at the Botanical Gardens. You've all been called down to help with some last-minute preparations, setups, and whatnot, and you are at the main event space, the Mershon Hall, and it is absolutely abuzz with excitement and stress. Proctor is on top of a ladder, getting flowers and lights set up in the building. Tilly is doing and redoing all the table settings. Doss and Mouse are setting up something techie off to the side, perhaps a big sound system and maybe some cameras. Denise and Alejandro are assembling the dance floor, and over on the Lanier Terrace outside, you see Olivia working with a string quartet and fussing over ambient music, and you can see a few more workers kind of buzzing about outside. And so you guys have entered the room, and you see everyone moving around. So the Mershon Hall is a big open space, but there are currently chandeliers that are wrapped in hanging hyacinths, nice golden chandeliers. And what Proctor is setting up is kind of a more hanging flowers, kind of scalloping around the edges with some little Edison bulbs going on. And she's already getting angry that Doss is like setting up a disco ball. And Alejandro and Denise, you actually see Alejandro for the first time in just a button-up work shirt with the sleeves rolled up and some jeans.
Like black jeans.
No,
Oh, okay.
Weird. Very weird.
he would be indistinguishable from just some other dad.
Just another tall dad.
Okay.
Okay. The orchestra that Olivia's working with, you said it's just like a quartet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to Olivia and just kind of see how she's handling them. See if there's anyone there that I recognize from the ASO.
Yes, you actually recognize, they're all members of the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra, and Olivia's kind of, she clearly doesn't understand how performing music works, but she knows what she likes to hear.
Okay.
And so she's giving very vague directions. She's like, no, I need it to be sunnier. Sunnier, I understand the irony here. I need it sunnier. Now, one more time.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of like go around just behind some of them just to kind of see what she has them playing. Is it like some Vivaldi or something like that?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
It's like some Vivaldi, but then there's a little bit of Gershwin in there.
Oh, okay.
You can see it's a lot of classical, but they have the lead violinist has a little book hidden in the back that is the Bridgerton covers collection.
Of course, yeah.
And
Okay.
you can tell like they're trying to keep that hidden from her. They're like, yes, ma'am, we'll try winter one more time, this time sunnier.
Excellent. Okay, cool. Miss Grace,
Yes, dear.
are you, you look like you might, like they might need some different handling. Would you prefer to handle this, or is there something else?
If you
you'd
want to
rather be
take them, I don't care.
on? Excellent, great. And I'm gonna just kind of look at them, just,
I'm going to go check with the restaurant.
Awesome. I'm gonna kind of eye all of them, and I'm just gonna say, relax. We know your union. We know you're contracted. Your time will be respected. We'll get through this. Have you had a break yet? I'm just gonna ask if they've had a break.
And they say like, yeah, we've had breaks. She's actually not so bad. She's just loud.
Okay.
But thank you for acknowledging the union.
Sure. Would you prefer that I just kind of stay here while you guys practice as you would like? I'm going to look as though I might just kind of be slowly doing this. Do whatever you want. I'm just going to keep her out of your hair for a little while. Is that okay?
Yeah, that works fantastic.
Okay, great.
And you can see they slide out the secret covers book.
Excellent.
And the cellist leans over and he goes, dude, she really isn't gonna know. Like, we can get away with this pretty easily.
Yeah.
And they proceed to play Thank You next.
Fantastic. Okay, and I'm just gonna just kind of wave and look on as though like I know what's going on, just to kind of just give some shoulders, make it look like I'm actually doing something, and just kind of keep going at it with them.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
Displaying a minor masked PTSD that Anton always has anytime there's a party with a bunch of vampires that's happening.
Same though.
But just sort of looking around and like just spotting like what everybody is up to and trying to take note of like who isn't immediately available or
Yeah,
visible.
whoever you can't immediately see in the Mershon Hall is probably working on something outside.
It's fair. I'm actually just going to walk up to these two, Aaron and Mel, first, and just check in, make sure that you're both doing okay from our visit to Emery.
I'm all healed up. It took a little bit, but we're fine. No.
Yeah, I would really like to not have another encounter with those hunters, which means maybe we need to find them and make sure that we don't have another encounter with them.
Perhaps we are 2 for 3 so far, or at least Aaron is 2 for 3 so far. Don't know how our luck goes in that regard, but I also don't know if we're going to be the ones to.
Eradicate?
I was going to say find, but we can go that far too.
Mel, if you'd like, I can reach out to a contact in the police force. See if Mark might disappear. And by that, I mean come into our
From the records.
collection.
Disappear from the records.
Yes.
And Storyteller, did he get released? Were we
He
able
has
to?
not been released yet.
Okay, so that what Alpha had with the campus police didn't actually come to fruition.
The campus police were not able to get him out of that situation.
These were the actual police that showed up.
These were the actual police.
Okay, so what's like is he like being arraigned? Has he been arraigned? Is there bail? Like, is there anything like that going on?
You haven't heard from him just yet.
Okay. And there's nothing in the docket? Like, I can't look online to see if there's anything?
Looking on the docket, it just still shows processing
Okay.
because it's not upkept very well.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever you can do would be good. I mean, he has other people in his life that he has to take care of, not just us. So
Sooner the better.
You still have contacts at the Force? Figured by this point.
One way, yes. It might be best if I just drop in on them rather than trying to arrange something and there being SI, Hunter, covert surprise parties. So
That's fair.
I will make a surprise call.
I think the more impromptu we can be with things, the better, so that plans are not monitored.
yeah.
How was your new pupil, tutor? I don't know how it works with Tremere. Who teaches who?
He's still getting settled. Getting funneled into the school along with all of the other ones. Some of them are doing very well, others not so well. They will all go at their own pace, though. I'm looking forward to seeing how the new graduating class does. But so far, so good. I've admittedly been more occupied with getting my new space set up. I had a lot of things recovered that I have to put back on shelves.
Anything with Dolly Parton in it? On it?
Several things. Many
Oh.
things. I put those up first. Those are the easy things. I don't have to worry about those potentially hurting people if they fall.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Glad to know they've found their home.
Yes, they apparently have an interesting person to thank, but I will see him when I see him, I suppose, and give my thanks to it. But I'm glad to have it back. It's not all back in the building that it was in, but perhaps this is safer going forward.
And Jackson, what are you doing?
I am walking around checking out security.
Okay. Security team has not been deployed right now. Are you looking for like security of the venue?
Yeah. And entry and egress points.
Okay. At this point of the gardens, you don't know all the exit points because the gardens are quite large.
Yeah. I've only been here like once.
But you do, from Mershon Hall, kind of see that it is very hard to see into the gardens.
Yep.
And you can't really see the outside world. Kind of on the other side of the large greenhouse, you can see a few skyscrapers. And one of those skyscrapers looks very familiar. In fact, it looks like where you live.
Yep.
It's where everybody, and Alpha, and Elijah live.
I wave.
Alpha
building.
did tell you he was going to have specialized security.
And yeah, I just keep looking around. I wander a little bit.
Okay.
Mel is going to approach who were working on it was on the sound system. It was
Dawson Mouse.
Dawson Mouse. She's going to approach them and kind of like tap on the shoulder and say, "Do you guys have any control over what's going to play on the night of?"
And Doss just kind of like gives you this wide grin, and you can see just how crooked and rotten his teeth are, but it's a wide smile, and he goes, "Oh yeah."
Okay, and Mel is going to like lean in and whisper like, "If you play these songs, I will make sure to do you a favor."
And he goes, "Done, done, and done."
And she rattles off, a couple Rage Against the Machine songs, a couple 80s new wave songs. Definitely.
Body count.
And he gets like what you're saying, and he's like,
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah,
And he's like writing them down to put into his set list.
It's not often that Mel gets to rage, and so she was like, yeah, this is definitely the absolute wrong place to do this, but why not? You know, we're going to be amongst friends.
Absolutely.
So she's joking with them and kind of
Yeah.
clearly will offer them that favor.
And Mouse is like, she's like, I'm gonna have to look these up, aren't I? I don't know what these are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
I'll pull it up on Spotify or something.
Yeah.
And Alima comes like fluttering up to you all and calls you, oh, shepherds, welcome. I rented the gardens for 3 days, so we would have ample time to prep and clean up after ourselves, surely. So here are your invitations, and players, you can flip over the papers that are in front of you.
Oh my goodness.
And you have a map of the gardens, as well as your invitation. And for our lovely viewers.
Oh my gosh.
Figured it would save me the delivery hassle. You can familiarize yourself with the guest list. It's not my most ideal list, but the people I favored appear to be dead. So this is the list we have.
I recognize the titles,
good-
but not the names.
Good luck with that. No, Proctor, no, those have to hang lower. And she flutters off to Proctor.
I recognize these titles, but I do not know who any of these fucking people are.
I'd have to go back into my research, but I recognize 2 of these names.
And so for our audience, the invitation says, you are cordially invited to celebrate a decade of the Camarilla reign in Atlanta, September 6, 2022, at the Atlanta Botanical Gardens. Special guests to include Archon Adeline Durand, Archon Dawn Nakata, Justicar Lucinda, Justicar Juliet Parr, the Honorable Hafsa, and the Honorable Carl Schrecht. Refreshments and valet will be provided.
We don't get sick, right?
Unfortunately.
We can get dead.
We can
That's what I'm worried about.
drink the wrong thing.
I could probably arrange that.
That said, I'm gonna head back over to
Unfortunately.
the quartet really quick and just gonna say, hey, I'm just double checking. We have all of your insurance information. Is that correct?
That would be on file with the union.
Okay.
I understand this is kind of a high risk party.
Good. I'm glad they told you. This may be something that might not complete as scheduled, so to speak, but I'm sure you will still be getting full payment, if not a little bit extra, given some of the
they
nature.
paid up front.
Okay, wonderful. Okay. If there's anything else, I'm just going to hand them a card, just like, if there's anything else that you need, just go ahead and...
Of course.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm sorry ahead of time.
Yeah, I'll accept that now.
Thank you. I'm gonna head back over to them.
And to the group, like, the 2 names I do recognize on here are Lucinda, who is one of the few Justicar for life. One of the ones that cannot, does not, will not rescind the role.
Oh, fun.
And for Thomasina and Mel, you both would know that she monitors the Red List, which is Kindred's most wanted. She is in charge of hunting down people on the Red List.
I see.
Thus why Justicar for life.
And the name that I am going to be the most concerned about, as is Proctor, the Honorable Carl Schrecht. One of the... not even one of the most powerful existing Tremere in the world.
Oh, great.
Of House Tremere.
Great. Wait,
AKA...
House Tremere?
We have subdivisions beyond just clans. Different schools of thought. And as it stands, every Tremere in Atlanta is House Karna, which is one that has a very tenuous relationship with House Tremere, the traditionalists, the hardlines, who very much believe in a hierarchical structure,
Oh, joy.
concealment of knowledge, all the things that you don't know, all the things that you know about me that are not me.
Well, they're coming to exactly the wrong place because the new constitution we have written will not put up with any sort of fundamentalism.
Well,
Well,
we'll see how it goes through the course of the night if they are down with that constitution.
What does it mean, honorable? Is it a special Camarilla title?
Honorable just means, yes, it means that they are respected. Karshrecht was a Justicar, he is not anymore, but he is powerful enough that you say his name with respect.
They're still authorities, and they still report, and they still are consequential.
You'll have to look up these other names.
I have a memory of Nakata, but I'm not well versed.
If you would like, you can roll a, what do we call that? Intelligence and academics or occult, whichever you're better in.
You know it's academics.
I don't know. You
Do I?
might have,
Actually, hold on one second.
you might have gotten
No, it's
wild and you're
academics.
leveling up.
All right. 2? 2.
Okay. With a 2, you would know she used to serve Madame Guy, who was very notorious, but Dawn is a Malkavian, and not much is known about her.
Okay.
Just that she served Madame Guy.
It's probably worth just meeting them and being very interested in them.
I don't think we have much of a choice. From the way that it was posed to us, we have to be very interested in them and very interested in talking about how good we are at our jobs and what we do.
If you can
And-
keep the subject to them, though.
I fully intend to broadcast how excellent the way we do things here is because it's different than everywhere else.
Please don't
That-
get detailed. Please don't get detailed.
That is not the instructions that Alpha gave. He said that we were to be the best face of this new system as we could be, and for me, it is being outspoken at how we do things.
And Alima mentioned specifically lauding how we operate as shepherds in the city. Not to go off of our topic, but
And Mel,
Shepherds.
given that you are from France, you would know Archon Adeline Durand, as she is a very common face around Paris, and she detests Gangrel princes.
Okay. What I know of Durand is that she will not be friendly towards Alpha as our prince, but I feel confident that if we explain how well he's done and we prove how successful this experiment has been, maybe we can change your mind.
Storyteller, is it more than reasonable to believe that Alima has been the one who's been in contact with all of them, not Alpha?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This was Alima's guest list. She has been the one to personally invite them.
Okay. Would it be a... How to phrase this? This could be a dumb question. Would it be a fair assumption to know that, or to think that they are potentially unaware of the reality of the prince in Atlanta?
They would know that the prince is Gangrel.
Okay.
They wouldn't know anything about like his playboy lifestyle. They wouldn't know him having a friendly relationship with the Anarch. They know nothing about him aside from the prince in Atlanta is a Gangrel who calls himself Alpha, and he is a victim of the Shreknet hack. As they know, everyone who was a part of that had to be accounted for, and they know they would know certain aspects of Alpha's history that I do not believe Thomasina is aware of. So they would pretty much only know his relationship with the Camarilla.
Okay.
They know that he is capable enough that they don't have to come down here and do something about it.
But they're looking for a reason.
Yeah.
They're hardliners. They're hardline Camarillas, right?
Yes,
Is that what I'm
they are
understanding?
very hardline Camarilla.
everybody but us.
You would also know that with being hardline Camarilla, that means that they do not approve of thin bloods.
We have a lot to prove to them that works. And the best way we do that is by being our typical selves and being honest and being forthright and just showing off all of the good that has happened.
That while also making sure that we are falling in as a typical Camarilla at current. Let the people talk about the things that they are supposed to talk about. Don't go too far beyond your station, otherwise they will take offense, and then that will just be a shitstorm. It's
advertising it as Camarilla Plus. It's not an entire retraction. It's not a scrapping of what was. It's merely the next generation.
And
within reason.
And a rather recent idea at that. Not something that has been the way for the past 12, nearly 13 years.
Not successfully.
Well, it's not as though any of the other systems are particularly successful either. So,
well, I am going to go bother my Primogen up on a ladder about how we are supposed to pretend that we are not the equivalent of anarchists to Karl Schrecht.
Good luck.
have fun with that.
I'll break off from the group to go
Okay.
talk to Proctor.
Okay. And Proctor is on top of a ladder still, and she's fussing with zip tying flowers to a chicken wire that she's got hanging from the ceiling.
Just gonna knock on the base of the ladder.
It's like, fucking hell, Anton, why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Would you prefer I just yell your name out?
Yes!
Well, now I know. And I'll just hold up the invitation. You see the guest list?
Yeah, I've known for a while.
And, are we hiding our house as well as our, politics, or
Nope.
what's the plan then?
Be your normal, charming self.
I feel like you were told to say that.
We are not going to hide that we are House Karna. Carl is an old friend, in a manner of speaking. He knows very well the kind of things that I run. In fact, he sponsored the library at Emory.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Am I to presume that Karl Schreck knows about Dr. Carter and myself then?
Yes, he does.
Wonderful.
He, best as I can tell with him, he seems to be enjoying retirement. But he is still a man of many opinions.
Naturally. Well, I'm going to walk around outside and find a good place to bury myself. I'll see you tomorrow.
Don't worry, I'm bringing the horses in to distract him.
You like horses?
He likes magic that shouldn't exist.
You're bringing in our horses.
Yes. They're going to be on display.
Interesting. Wonder what they think of that.
Well, if I'm to gather, what Amari has told me, they're all into the idea except Death.
He's a talented individual he is. Talking to horses. Well, let's hope it's a distraction enough then.
Yeah, good luck.
Thanks. Now, walk back in the general direction of the group unless the group has dissolved, in which case I'll just keep walking.
Yes.
I mean, Mel is still there, you know, kind of mulling over this guest list and having just kind of the fuck it attitude of, I just put in songs that are very likely to rile up the people that she intends to rile up.
If they even recognize the lyrics.
If they even recognize lyrics. And she's just gonna kind of, you know, I really think we have less to worry about than you think. I am confident in what we have created. And you should be too, and I'm proud of the work we have done to bring this city from the brink of extinction and how many times we've done it. And I refuse to be scared to advertise that.
I'm going to shoot a text to Tabitha really quick, even if she's around. I'm just going to say, does this invitation come with the expectation of a +1?
And you get a response from Tabitha. That's Tabitha giving you almost a selfie of the Japanese gardens where she is currently hanging fairy lights.
Okay.
And her response says, if it's what I'm thinking, he got his own. All kindred received invitations.
And I'm going to shoot...
She also makes sure to put kindred all in caps.
Yep. I'm going to shoot Josiah a text saying, are you free tomorrow?
To which he replies, for the party, it's my understanding I have to be there.
And I'm just going to shoot back. Should I pick you up, or...
And he tells you, I rented a nice car for us.
I'm just going to shoot back a... Good boy.
And he sends to you, we should stay away from Juliet Parr at the party. She does not like me.
Just shoot back. We'll talk later. I'm actually going to head towards Tabitha over in the Japanese garden area.
Okay.
Just to see if she needs help or has any other wisdom to offer.
She could use an extra set of hands with lights.
You know. And I'm just going to busy myself hanging lights before I actually talk to her and just save the rest for later. So I'll just start helping her out.
Okay.
Headed over to Denise and Alejandro.
Okay.
See.
And they're doing one of those dance floors that are the wooden squares that you interlock together and then hammer it in a little bit and interlock the next piece. And Alejandro looks up and goes, oh, hello, Aaron.
Do you need a hand?
Another hand would be fantastic.
Great.
Thank you.
And without any other talking, just helping them right away.
And you notice they both are also staying completely silent and
As
both
it should
seem
be.
very happy with this. The two antisocial ones of the Primogen Council, they are greatly loving. Nobody's talking to them. They're just working in silence.
Why would I ruin that?
Aaron's awesome stepdad.
Yeah. And Mel and Jackson, are you both still in the hall?
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
outside of mischief making with the music, Mel is just kind of, there.
Because you do overhear Tilly, and this is the first time you've seen Alpha, as Tilly is holding on to the sleeve of his shirt. And she's just like, please, can we just make her a guest of honor too? She's done so much for the Kindreds that you don't understand. And Alpha's just like, Tilly, trust me, I understand she's important to you. I really do. I understand this is like a fangirl moment for you or something. But the guests of honor are officials in the Camarilla, not just people we're fans of. And you see Tilly's eyes change. And her face goes very still. And in a split second, Alpha grabs her by the chin. And he's gripping her chin. He goes, now, I'm absolutely certain that what you were about to do was not what I think you were about to do. Was it? And Tilly's eyes flick back. She goes, no. And Alpha lets go of her. He goes, I'll compromise, okay? Make sure she has the best table. It's reserved only for her. We'll formally announce her at the entrance like some sort of fancy ball or whatever as a notable kindred of the city. And you can be the one to decorate her table and I'll tell her you're the one who did it. She goes, okay, and runs off. And Alpha's just standing there like, okay. This is what tonight's gonna be. All right, fantastic. Oh, hey.
Who was Tilly wanting? Who? Whom?
It's a lesser known kindred of the city. If you know her, you know her. If you don't know her, you don't know her. She's called the Seamstress. A Zemissi.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that why you
Gotcha.
are uncertain about having her at the party? Or other
No,
reasons?
she just creeps me out.
Oh, seems to be a trend.
She's like, you know how some Zemissi, they don't really change themselves to be hideous like Lydia does. They just make themselves that unsettling kind of pretty. That kind of pretty that when you look at them, you just feel weird about it.
I've encountered one or two in my time, yes.
Yeah, she scares the ever-living shit out of me. But she's very important to the queer community of Kindred, so she does gender confirmation, flesh crafting. She provides safe haven. She runs a couple of the youth shelters, and apparently Tilly's needed her help a couple times.
I believe that she deserves a seat of honor then.
Yeah, I suppose that's...
Yes, I just got to be careful with anybody that is not an official in the Camarilla being
course.
considered on a guest list with people like fucking Hafsa.
Could you say something to the effect that she sponsored the event?
That's not a half bad idea, actually.
I mean, that would get her the table and the spot of honor without it being something you gave her. It's something she bought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make we're taking donations for her youth shelter charity.
No.
Make those Camarilla decide if they want to look bad at a party.
The name you mentioned, we were looking over the invitation and we recognized a few names, but I may have done research on them before. But who is Hafsa?
Not knowing names on that list is a very good thing, boy.
That's fair, but I imagine right now would be a good time to know. who everyone
Hafsa's an
shows.
extremely lethal person, and I wish they were not coming, but apparently they're friends with Lima.
Anything more?
I've only known throughout my entire history that wherever Hafsa is, you should be 3 countries over.
Well, since we can't, is there anything else that we should know?
And they're
Be on
coming.
your best behavior, they're coming for a Lima.
Best behavior, but still representing the Camarilla as we want it to be.
Absolutely.
Is that right? Okay. Because my best behavior will be exactly that.
I'm going to be hard selling this good old car salesman style.
Great.
It's going to be, we got this idea for a little experiment, and it's going to make the Camarilla stronger than ever. Bigger, better, faster, stronger. We're giving them the Daft Punk upsell.
And then and Mel is gonna like kind of shoot a look over to to Doss and Mouse and be like, Daft Punk?
And Mouse is like, that I know.
Yeah.
And she goes to her laptop. He just says, yeah, we're, there's going to be a lot happening tomorrow night.
Are you worried?
Oh, extremely. But for my part of it, I think I'm going to be fine. I've worked at least with Juliet and Lucinda before, so.
I noticed that we have a lovely view of the tower from here.
I told you I had security. They don't know I live there.
Good to know. Anything related to that you need help with?
No, I got Cirrus on it.
I'm going to restate my question. Because I trust that man about as far as I can throw him.
Yeah, I started that way too, but he's pretty reliable.
I trust him. to hit
He's
his
mentally
target.
unstable.
As long as that fancy little Muppet in his head keeps us all safe, we're good.
That's the part I don't trust.
Ain't a better marksman in this town if shit goes wrong.
I agree.
That's unfortunately true.
Yeah, hopefully he aims at the right people.
And Mel, we got a happy little daycare for your boy. There's going to be a bunch of ghouls coming in apparently, so he'll have plenty of other little dogs to run around with.
Well, he's currently incapacitated in custody.
His other daycare.
They didn't get him out?
No.
Fuck it. Let me go make a call. I got a couple more things to do, but I'll go make that call.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Mark is not allowed. What about other ghouls?
No ghouls are allowed in the party.
What about animals?
This is about the fucking possum, isn't it?
He can hear you. Be respectful.
Hi, fucking possum.
I'm sure they wouldn't notice. They wouldn't necessarily notice a possum in a tree.
Or in a pocket.
Well,
He
they might
could-
in a pocket more than a tree.
I literally just scoop him out of my pocket.
And you do see that Robin's grown a bit. He's about teenage size now.
His tail wrapped around my wrist.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And he goes, "It's Georgia. They don't know any better.
Good.
Just him being on your person is going to be one thing, but he can be anywhere in the garden."
Okay.
Just don't have him dance.
He wanted
Yeah.
to come.
He's a social.
You're a dad. You understand.
Not my fault. He gets eaten,
No, but you'll have another dead Kindred on your hands.
and then you'll be dead, and my problem will be wiped clean.
There you go.
Speaking of wiped clean, apart from a third burning of Atlanta, what is the worst thing that can happen tomorrow?
The worst thing that can happen, I have been led to believe, is that me, Alima, and the entire Primogen Council, and especially Elijah, they don't know about him. We will all be executed, and Lucinda will take place as Prince of the City until a new one can be established.
Great.
Cool. Cool. Well, have fun with that.
So, you know, you got about 15 people's lives on your hands.
Imagine.
What's new?
I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
That's
And-
probably a good idea.
Yeah. I'm aware.
As Alpha is preparing, I guess, to go make his
Yeah,
call,
he's pulling up the number for the precinct.
Mel is gonna do something very uncharacteristic, and she is going to put her arm around his neck and kind of lead him away as he's on the phone making his texts. And you
He's
know,
like, what? What is this?
whatever happens, I am exceedingly proud of what we've created. And I am even more proud to be a member of your court. And I think if all else fails, we should go down with a bang.
I bet
And then
you-
she winks at him
And he's
in
like-
the most aggressively silly, stupid, very not even sexy in the slightest way possible, but obviously not meaning it. And she,
Yeah.
kind of pats him on the shoulder and is like, "We did good. We did really good."
And he laughs and kind of like just taps your head with his and goes, "I think we did pretty good too. No matter what happens, I ain't ashamed of a single thing we've accomplished."
Me neither. And then she'll kind of like, pat him on the shoulder. Now uncomfortable with the physical
Yeah.
affection.
And he lets go and he goes, "I'm gonna go make that call."
Yeah, and she'll go return to the group.
Seeing Mel almost butt smack.
I was thinking, I was like, maybe
I'm
no.
gonna start to rejoin the group. Something weird's going on.
And Mel will rejoin, but she's like trying to get the physical touch off of her.
We don't shed.
And you see Elijah coming in and he has what looks like iced coffee, but it's red and it's in Waffle House to-go cups.
Amazing.
And he just comes in with one for himself and passes one off to Olivia and goes, "Hey Shepherds, what's up?"
I'll just learning what you're getting yourselves into tomorrow. Guests and threats and whatnot.
Yeah, and realizing that we have, the fate of the entire Renasherie Camarilla on our shoulders. But that's okay.
That's all right. We all do. I mean, if I fuck up tomorrow, a whole bunch of innocent little thin bloods are going to get executed. So we're having our own charm school right now on how to behave like you're not a harbinger of doom.
And so
How do I
we're
join those classes again? How do I join those classes?
re-enroll.
You were supposed to have already graduated.
I skipped a grade.
He was a
You
surprisingly
skipped
good.
all the grades. You dropped out.
No.
Oh, no,
He
I
was-
graduated.
He was a surprisingly good student. I'm going to give him credit on this one.
That's because I already knew all the answers.
Yes, but I'm going to give you credit on this one.
Good student or not.
I am only coming because I have to, and I am keeping my mouth shut the entire time. I am here under protest.
Yeah, me too.
I will have spoken with Tabitha already. Nothing all that important. I'm gonna head back inside, either with her or without her. I'm not sure.
She is going off to another section to light it. And Elijah's just like, yeah, I'm gonna keep all the thin bloods with me. We're gonna stay close together. I'm gonna treat them like the kindergarten field trip situation. And we're all gonna get fancy little temporary tattoos tonight. Courtesy of a certain individual.
We've heard. Assuming it's the same person.
It might be. But yeah, I told him it's only for the night. And I don't even like doing it, but they're all more at risk if they're unbranded.
You're doing the right thing.
I hope so. Oh, and I am not a primogen that night. I am not a sheriff. I'm not a primogen.
That's important.
I'm just some thin blood who really convinced you all to not kill me.
Do we have a sheriff?
Question mark?
We do. It's Cirrus.
Okay.
I figure he's a spooky enough, creepy man that if they can't see him, they fear him more.
That's
and as
fair
he
enough.
won't be in attendance, it'll be a lot easier to keep the lie up as well.
In attendance that we will see.
Well,
Exactly. A sheriff you can't see is scarier than a sheriff standing right in front of you.
that's very true.
Is there any known relation that they have with you and your mother?
They don't know shit. My name is Elijah Smith.
Smith.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
They ain't gonna think two shits about me. Ain't nobody even gonna try and find out my name.
They may not even look at you.
Exactly. My goal is to stay as unseen at this party as possible, while still making it known that there is a little group of thin bloods there, behaving, not causing a ruckus, just being good little quiet church mice in the corner. I might dance at one point, fuck it.
You should.
I'm glad that you are as committed to keeping this safe. I know that it is hard. I know that this is disgusting.
It is, but my mother hates it more than I do. If you see her, I apologize. She is fit to be tied right now because she does not like it one bit, but she understands better than most. She knew when I got turned. World ain't changed a whole lot since then.
You've done good work and it's worth keeping safe.
My point exactly.
And hopefully after tomorrow, we'll be moving forward into better things.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping Alpha can pull this off.
Aren't we all?
And he goes off to talk to Olivia. And what else are you all doing right now? You do have the map of the gardens. There is nowhere marked off limits, but in the map, all of the events that are marked on your map are going to be pretty much to the left of the canopy walk. The canopy walk is the last spot to the right that has like event stuff marked on it. You just see things that are just like they have the large human-sized chessboard set up on the grounds of the large
The gazebo?
yeah.
I'll be avoiding old Camarilla people playing chess with people.
Well, it's the large pieces that you have to pick up and walk over and put them on their spot.
I know what that is, yeah.
I just
Yeah.
imagine some missy, just people.
I imagine them just commanding people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just holding up the map, I'm just going to let the group know I'm just going to take a walk and explore our options.
Yeah. I know that everything east is very heavily wooded.
Good fallback then.
Yep. I'm gonna walk around a little bit too.
All right. And have fun with the setup. Let us know if anything goes to shit.
I guess Mel's staying behind.
I'll stick around with Mel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Mel, who always carries the bag of papers, is going to sit down with the papers and Storyteller, you can tell me if this sounds about right, but the finalized version,
Yes.
bound,
This is considered, shall we say, the beta test
Yeah.
of it. This is the version that is reasonable to present, but not to be presented in a, here is our finalized document.
Sure.
You know, it is now for peer review.
Yeah, like any constitution, it's available for amendment.
Yes.
So, and she's just gonna kind of thumb through some of the various areas that, you know, she'll need to be able to speak on with clarity, you know, if they're presenting it.
And it is marked that at the Longleaf restaurant is where presentations will be given.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that's what she'll do then. She'll kind of thumb through it for a second and notice on the map that is where they will be headed. That's where they will need to be to present. So she'll look at Thomasina. She's like, I'm gonna go check out the presentation hall and kind of see what the setup is. If we have, you know, a projector or anything of that sort. So you're welcome to join, but I'm just gonna kind of walk over there and see what it looks like.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah.
Okay.
I am curious.
Yes.
I'm going to head over to the edible garden
Okay.
because I want to know that there's not. I want to make sure I know what I'm finding there. Kindred snacks or otherwise.
Okay.
Oh no. No. That's a real edible garden.
It's worth the check.
That kind
Oh
of
god.
edible.
So that one's pretty easy. You walk over to the edible garden, and it's things like tomatoes, hibiscus flowers that are edible. Essentially, any kind of plant that you actually could just grow, pluck it, and eat it. There's honeysuckles. There's all manner of vegetables. The greenhouse has a very beautiful snake walkway set up with about waist-high boxes for plants and some plants hanging from the ceiling and a beautiful like X cross in the middle with vines and plants growing around it. And these are some of the most beautiful flowers you've ever seen, and every single one of them is edible.
Fascinating.
There's not like any conspicuously stationary gardeners around, are there?
No,
Okay, great. Just
No.
the flowers then.
it's definitely just edible flowers. And there are some cutesy little signs put up that say "not blood."
Fantastic. Okay.
In Alima's calligraphied handwriting. It's funny to you, but she probably thinks she was serious.
Oh god, yeah.
And as you're walking around and you're walking through this, you know, like the greenhouse type area, the beautiful plants hanging, you hear the door open and you hear a pair of footsteps come in as Alpha and Alima approach you together. And that's where we're going to take our break. We'll be back in a little bit to see what Alpha and Alima have to say to Aaron. back. And so Aaron in the edible garden, the greenhouse room, Elima and Alpha have approached you. And Elima just kind of says, "Hello, Aaron. Why don't we sit down for a second?"
Okay.
And they kind of gesture towards a park bench.
I sit down.
And they sit at the one across from you, in a weird synchronicity that Alpha catches, and he's like, that was weird. It was weird. And Alpha goes, "Okay, Aaron, you've been a wonderful grandchilder. That's what I'm going to call it, at least grandchilder. You've done a lot of good with the shepherds. You've endured the worst of all of us from the Second Inquisition. You've done a lot, and through it all, you haven't really lost your cool. You haven't broken the Masquerade. You've actually been a exemplary kindred for a lot of people to live by, model themselves after."
But,
Yes?
but
No.
Oh.
That's why in discussions in the future of Atlanta, Elima and I have an offer for you. And Elima just sighs and she's like, "Alpha, it sounds like your next words are going to be crass. Just tell him what the offer is, and I'll do my part. Stop making it sound like we're unicorn hunters." And Alpha just, like, looks to Elima very confused. He goes, "When did you learn that word?" And she goes, "When didn't I learn that word?" He goes, "Anyway, okay. Part of the Justicars coming here is because I sent them a proposal for my coterie. My coterie is called the Bloodhounds, and our operations are a little bit more... Well, let's just say I want it to be official. Melisende handles the red list, which is, all the most wanted. And before coming here, my coterie and I, we, shall we say, we handled the people that weren't quite good enough for the red list. We got hired by smaller cities, upcoming princes that had an anarch problem to take care of, or maybe, a good, kind prince, but some asshole was going to try to declare praxis and kill the prince. We come in, take care of him. Kind of mercenaries for hire, or just protecting the Masquerade. Blood hunts can be messy, and sometimes you just can't take that Masquerade risk. So I have proposed to them to make our coterie an official part of the Camarilla. Offer bloodhounds to any city that needs it, to be deployed wherever we want to be. I told you a long time ago that my ambitions didn't stop at Prince. And Elima just, shoves him out of the way. She's like, "So that is where I come in. If Alpha's proposal is accepted, when he leaves, I will become Prince. And with that, I would like to ask you to be my seneschal. I understand it's a big ask. You can take your time to think of it, but I will need an answer before the party, because I will have to present this idea."
Thank you. It is well received.
I hope you understand that it's not an offer made lightly or in personal favor. The things that you have accomplished have been noted. And when I think of who I want to be the first point of contact for kindred of this city, you are the immediate answer.
I think that puts a good face forward. It also gets Alpha out of your hair. So.
And Alpha goes, "That is very fair." Elima just laughs and says, like I said, you can think on it, unless you have an answer right now.
I accept. I will think of the consequences later, but I accept.
Well, wonderful. If all works out, I'll have some paperwork to you the day after.
Great. Oh, paperwork.
Consequences.
Consequences.
No, just simple signing deeds over to you and things. But I think you're going to be really great for this city. You've already been very great for everyone you've come in contact with. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to get out of your hair. Come on, Alpha. And they both scuttle out of the edible garden quickly, with Alpha being like, I did absolutely nothing.
And I have just the slightest thought in my head, is there's something between... Nope. No.
From Alima's side, nothing but animosity.
Yeah, but you know.
Nope. No. My grandpa you're talking about. I start heading back to the main group.
Okay.
We headed over to the Longleaf.
Yeah.
Me and Thomasina did.
All right. So when you get over there, you do see general, almost like those brunch meetings setups. There's a big projector screen with a projector and some remotes sitting out. The tables have been arranged, not in a like boardroom fashion, but kind of in like a staggered, everyone can see the projector screen.
Mm-hmm.
The restaurant itself is closed, obviously. But there are, like dinner settings out. And there are just very nice tableware. It just looks like they brought out the good stuff.
Oh, I didn't realize we'd be presenting over dinner. It's dinner and a show.
I'm a little... This sounds very silly, and tell me it is already, especially because it would change things last minute. I already hear the grumbling over there being a projector. I already feel like they're going to expect somehow that we had instead handwritten explanations of what was going on.
Fine, let's do it.
Okay, I know a projector's cleaner and more environmentally friendly, but if we're going to garner their favor, then having the...
I understand. I'm reading exactly what you're saying, and she'll sit down, she'll kind of shove one of the dinner plates out of the way and like pull out, a binder of various things, and then also, just various clean pieces of paper and pens and that kind of thing. And coincidentally, when she pulls out one of the things, a picture is going to fall out.
Okay.
And this is the bag she carries everywhere, right? And very, very cluttered, but still lots of like organized messily. And she'll kind of pick it up and look at it and smile and turn around and show it to Thomasina, and it's one of the snaps that they took at Six Flags that night they were out there. And it was one of the silly 1890s bad bustle gowns that are tied in the
wild
back.
west
And
photos.
like the bag of money and like and she's like, this is a party I could get down with.
Yeah. Honestly,
You want to wear a bustle and a corset tomorrow?
No, I want that. I want at least one of those with me. I'm not one who craves simpler times necessarily. Sometimes it does feel like things are getting a little out of control. And especially for as much as we have built, it is staggering to think that we've built this in the midst of... I can barely recall all of the
Turmoil?
potential interruptions.
It's funny, as long as you and I have unlived, I think we've accomplished more in the last few years in Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
At least I feel more accomplished personally in Atlanta than I have maybe anywhere in the world. I would love to feel good about, the Haitian Revolution and the American Revolution, but my hand in that was minor, and this is something lasting.
I think those were lasting. Just not any clean thing. I hope this is clean. I hope this is seamless. I hope that this has no possible... I know that there is going to be grumbling. I want to reduce it as much as possible. I want the success of this to be as unquestioned as possible. And it will be questioned, but...
Well, what is it? They say that the women who behave are rarely in the history books, so...
They don't like them.
Maybe we don't behave.
Maybe we use their rules to our advantage. It is possible. They are very specific. They have gotten more specific over the years for reasons like this.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mel, I've been away a lot lately. I will be bringing someone with me tomorrow night.
That's great. Right?
Let me finish.
Oh.
I embraced the current director of the SI.
Okay. Great. And Mel is just kind of like jokingly like flip a plate, you know, like not actually flip a plate, but like flip a binder or something. It's like,
So he has received his invitation. This was sanctioned. Alpha knew, approved. Tabitha knew and approved. It is an advantage, but at a cost that I'm sure the minute it is brought up, it is one of the biggest questions that could possibly be there. That I know of. Now that I think about it, hold on, wait, no, that's a problem. That is a problem. Don't get me wrong, but I have a feeling, just based on past behavior, that as much as this feels like a big issue, probably par for the course.
well, considering you are a welcome member of the Camarilla, and we, and she'll, you know, basically mean herself and the other half of the coterie, and our prince are not an unwelcome part of the Camarilla. I believe the most obvious errors are going to be the most glaring, and I think they're going to be the ones that are going to be the most questioned.
Okay.
So if I were you, your anxiety is understandable.
He knows way more than the majority of people that would be brought in, as it is. It is grossly likely that he probably knows more than I do. More to the point, why I wanted this. Also, have you seen him?
I don't think Mel has.
Okay.
No.
I think Amos have, actually.
No, none of you guys have seen Josiah.
We just know the name.
Can't wait for you to see him. But
And Mel's like
he
she
is
doesn't really
right. Yeah. He is exquisitely educated, formally and experimentally.
Oh,
That will help. I'm hoping it'll be a rough introduction.
I'm the only okay. And Mel is like processing for a moment. Director of the SI,
Current, former-ish.
your childer. Yeah, your childer, like childer.
Piece that Fangtown down.
Okay. I trust you. And that is enough for me to believe that you made a decision that was wise and well thought out.
Are you okay with he and I making plans to take some heat off of you, off
Wait.
of Elijah, off of...
Oh, do you mean as in making it known who he is to you and such?
If it comes to a point of them giving you more grief than is due, if it looks like they're about to try and really make some reformations in a hurry.
I'll tell you this much. I think at least I have made peace with whatever the outcome is after our presentation. Because I have poured everything that I have learned in my centuries of life into this document. Everything I've learned from every place I've been, every kindred and kind and otherwise I've met. And if this is what's left over after that, whether it gets put into practice or not, I will feel pretty accomplished. And I can't say that Alpha is ready to take the final bow, but I don't think either of us are very concerned about what the outcome is going to be.
In the past, I have readily tried to fight any impulse that you specifically might have to be very open about how proud you are about these things, and it's worth being proud of. It's also worth surviving. So, I would like to allow you as much freedom as possible to be loudly proud of what has happened here. But the minute things go wrong, I would like to smoke bomb the hell out of it with just I sired the director of the SI. I will stand up without context.
Yeah, right.
Yes,
She'll like
just,
put her hand out and be like, "You got a deal."
Whatever. Like, I'm not even a deal. As long as they're just like, wait, what?
No,
And then
I'm saying
let you guys
you've got
run.
a deal. Say what you want. I'm
Sure.
down. Let's
Okay,
do it.
great.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
good. And then she'll like shove papers her way and the pens, and I mean they're decent pens, right? They're like,
Oh, yeah.
the pens that Mel has. They're not like calligraphy pens, but they're good enough that
Good fountain pens with that glide.
Yes,
There's a
between the
little
two
bit of a
of
flex
us.
tip. Mhm,
Yes, between the two of us who have written and with all forms, that has been, we can produce a presentation material that is decent
right.
enough.
Yep.
So
Okay. And so the two of you doing that.
we're doing arts and crafts.
Yep.
We're going to cut back to Jackson, who Robin is restless in your pocket at this moment, just fussing around and grumbling.
Hand into pocket, letting him wrap around it, and then pulling my arm back out.
And you see, like, his eyes narrow at you.
Yes.
Why don't I get to party?
You are coming.
But I can't dance. I can't meet people.
No, because some of these people are very bad people.
So kill them.
I have been told that is a bad idea. I would very much like to kill many of them.
I'll
Because
kill
they
them.
are awful.
Treat you so well.
Unfortunately, we can't do that. They are...
That's bullshit.
I agree. They are untouchable for the time being.
Fine.
But you still get to come.
But I want to dance and party and meet people. It's not fair.
Would you rather stay with Coda? I am sure she has figured out a way
No,
to
I
not be
want
here.
to go to the party.
Okay.
Coda said she don't want to come.
I know. She's probably already figured out a way to not be here. And I'm jealous.
Mom said it's too loud.
Yep. Yep.
She told me to look out for you and make sure you don't die.
That's the goal.
Fine. But I want to dance.
I will find a way. I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
And he goes down your arm and back into your pocket.
Okay.
Just burrows in there like a kid having a tantrum.
And I will continue the path I was walking, following Anton.
So it was at this point I've turned to like walking backwards, just watching this exchange with zero idea of what is being said, but it's very adamant the entire way through. Just go,
All good.
he's good.
Robin has reached adolescence.
I thought that looked familiar.
Yeah. And he takes after his dad.
That's a travesty.
Yeah, he wants to kill all the Justicars who are coming.
I trust him to do it more than you, to be fair.
He'd probably get away with it. He's cuter.
All Justicars are bastards.
Yup.
And Anton, could you make me a wits and awareness, please?
Why not?
Every single dice in the room.
That's not my big pull. But 3 still.
Okay. As you are walking about, you look down into the rose garden, which is that multi-tier with the various aisles. And so you didn't notice at first, but you kind of see a head pop out as someone is going through and pruning, and you see that it is Victor.
I just stopped dead.
And he's just...
And just stop dead and just
What?
hand to Jackson's shoulder. And then point him out. Not until I talk with him, but if you want to come while I talk to
I
him.
also promised Hex I would not kill him without her there.
Well, if you want to come while I talk to him, you certainly can.
Oh, this will be fun. Carry on.
I'll slowly just round the corner to where Victor is.
Okay. You're on the corner and he says, "Oh, hello,
Victor,
Anton."
they've employed you to help out as well?
Oh, yes, it seems nobody can escape party duty.
Welcome to our life.
Small price to pay. I'm at least making the roses look presentable.
Yes, I'm familiar with your gardening habits.
It was always a joy of mine.
Hopefully you've adopted some new techniques for here.
Yes, you see, my son, who I get to have now, rather enjoys playing with roses.
Good. I'm glad to hear that you can enjoy things again.
What do you want?
Your offer was passed along via Aaron and Sybil. And needless to say, I'm intrigued.
Of course you are. You're a Tremere.
Well, it's beyond that.
What can I do for you?
Well, beyond my own personal interests, I now have one of you in my charge.
What does that mean?
It means that I need to have a way to teach a young Hekata things that he needs to know.
Why not just turn him over to me?
Not until I'm instructed to, and even then with some resistance. He has schooling
Yes.
to go through first.
Indeed. Gertie taught me just fine.
He has schooling to go through first.
Of course.
So as I said, beyond my own personal means and needs.
An offer's an offer. And without even a hesitation, he slices his wrist open and just hands it to you. And you can see as you look at his hand that there is some level of almost a bruising as he has done this repeatedly.
You are very eager.
I don't believe that knowledge should be kept from anyone. This is the knowledge I have direct control over.
Something you and I share in common.
Hurry up, I'm bleeding out.
I'm just gonna look over to Jackson. I'm gonna give it like a solid 5 seconds after he says he's gonna bleed out. And then roll my eyes, and then I will take one from him
Okay.
to expand my knowledge of Oblivion into the Hekata realm.
And so you will now have access to Hakata abilities.
And cleaning mouth off. I understand that the Hakata have their own set of not quite rituals separate from the Tremere. I don't expect that your invitation extends to every corner of knowledge, but as much as you're willing to share that I can instruct.
Here. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out just like a small notebook. And he just like goes through, scribbles down 2 things, rips it out and hands it to you. It's 2 rituals.
Right. That'll certainly be a good starting point. Thank you.
There we go. I was wondering if you knew how to use that word.
I do from time to time. Like I said, one thing you and I do share in common is this want to make sure that everybody can get the knowledge that they need.
Good.
You enjoying your retired life with your family?
Very much so.
Are you still at the murder house or elsewhere?
No, we have a new home in Kennesaw.
Well, I hope you're enjoying it.
I am.
And I suppose we will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Should be a hoot of an evening.
I don't know how well the old-timers like your clan any more than they like mine, but we'll see.
Oh, you haven't heard then. It's a Giovanni family reunion.
Is it?
Uh-huh. Gertie is quite pissed.
Wonderful.
I'd stay away from the canopy walk. That is, unless you like family drama, in which case I will be there with my own bowl of popcorn.
We'll see how much drama I get into on this side of the road before I consider that side of the road.
Good luck. What about you? Are you hopping up to the tap, or are you just brooding?
There is only one thing I need from you, and I can't get it right now.
Yeah.
Fucking sociopath.
Aren't we all?
No.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, I'm not talking about myself. Yes, I absolutely am one.
Every kindred is a sociopath.
Correct. But not all of them hurt people. Just you.
Yes, they do.
No.
All of them hurt people in one way or another.
No. But that is your problem, not mine. Anyway. And I just turn around and start walking away.
And he goes back to the rose bushes.
I'll give a nod and walk, and after we're a bit away, I'll mutter to Jackson. And now you have Kennesaw.
Yep, and I already told Hex.
There you go, then. Well, I'm done with him.
Perfect. Well, I'll let her figure that out, and she can let me know when she wants to deal with him.
Happy hunting.
Or maybe just tell the hunters where he is.
Do you really want to find another one? The one that you missed out on.
Yeah, what happened?
We hardly even saw her. We knew who she was, and without even being seen, did significant damage to Erin and Mel. We couldn't.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, we couldn't.
Damn.
We couldn't enter parts of the school. I managed to get away with the child there before any harm was dealt to her. So we have your
Interesting.
tank of destruction, and then we have this silent assassin.
You know, I don't... He was interesting.
Interesting.
To be fair, we hardly saw him, too. They know how to avoid what we can do to them. And I think that's the more important takeaway there.
That is true. These hunters seem a bit more
Knowledgeable?
than
Even the SI?
Well, I was going to say more knowledgeable than their earlier counterparts in the city. They were much more brash and upfront, willing to go in with a flaming sword. These ones, they do their homework.
Yeah.
And you are all very suddenly startled at the loud, blaring music of Don't Get Captured by Run the Jewels blasting from Mershon Hall, and Alima just screaming at the top of her lungs, "That is not funny, Doss!"
I thought it was funny.
And you hear it slowly turn down just a little bit, and anyone in the hall after having your eardrums blasted, Doss is cackling.
Nope, you're outside.
That was one of the bands on the list that I provided. So
And
I think all
for-
5 of us were outside. We're in different places outside of Mershon Hall, actually.
For Mel and Thomasina, while you guys are in there, you see a woman with one of those clipboards that like is a container as well, coming in with one of those and a stack of papers and books. Kind of young, lithe woman with white hair, sort of Cassie. You've seen her around Ventrue Tower.
Okay.
Like, she usually works with Tabitha, and she just walks in. She goes, "Oh my! I thought nobody was in here."
Do you need us? What do you need?
Tabitha couldn't come down. She told me to make sure this room was ready. I got the projector.
about that.
And you both noticed you remember from Ventrue Tower, but you notice this is a ghoul.
Uh-huh.
She's a ghoul for the Ventrue, so she's very frazzled in the moment.
Sure.
She's like, I know nobody eats, but I thought the table settings look nice.
They look fantastic.
Okay, thank you.
We are going to make a job different. I imagine no job at this point is going to
Okay,
be...
what are you doing?
Okay, that projector?
Yes. And
Mix it.
you're Miss Elena Cuesta, right?
Correct,
Okay.
yes.
And you are, I'm so sorry.
Melisende.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. I'm working on the itinerary for this building. I have to work with DOS and get their itinerary over there. I'm sorry, I'm buzzing all around.
You're doing an amazing job. This is exactly the pitch you should be hitting right now.
Thank you.
Okay. Nix the projector. We are
Okay.
going to do this as low tech as possible while
Okay.
the Central are here. So we've started out a little bit of just getting a few things handwritten down. God. For the sake of the guests. But the more that we can minimize a lot of the tech intervention, the more that this will look a little bit more considerate towards them.
Okay, so they're like not tech people.
No, not at all.
Okay, I'll scratch the projector. Would you prefer maybe I can probably tilt some of the can lighting, give a
Yes.
little...
Get it as natural as possible.
Yes.
Yeah, but like kind of a spotlight
Candlelit
sort of
feel.
situation.
Get
Okay.
it low, yeah.
Yeah.
Low and
you-
yeah.
No fireplace. I learned that one the hard way. I
Good.
will not have the fireplace going.
Yes.
Um,
Think candle lighting. That's the level we
Okay.
want.
You can actually put candles in the fireplace, give it the light without giving it
Yes,
actual...
that would be handsome. I love that. Okay. And I'm so sorry. My name's Mariah.
Oh, and she
Nice to meet you.
shakes hands.
You're not Ventrue.
No.
Okay. I was gonna feel horrible if I like should have seen you around the tower and I didn't know you. So it's better to know that I don't know you.
And Mel kind of giggles because there have been times when people who did not know her would have mistaken her for that with her diplomacy and ability to speak to those of a higher station. But she giggles to herself and she goes, "No, that is not the song I sing."
Well, you're probably better for it. Okay, so nixing the projector, editing the lights, candles in the fireplace, and I have you guys going fourth. Well, hold on. I have Mel going fourth after Alpha's presentation. I have... Are you giving a presentation as well?
Storyteller, am I giving a presentation?
Not that has been asked of you.
And Mel's gonna like shoot a glance to her like the silently saying, "Do not tell her the presentation you were thinking about giving."
I can fill in if necessary.
Okay, I'll have you down here. I'll just notate you over here, and if it looks like I'm gonna have a cancellation 10 minutes before, I'll get Tabitha to find you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Think encore.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
like that. Okay.
Uh,
Encore.
Ooh, yeah. Oh,
Do,
I really hope they just want to be in and out.
Would
No.
you rather I contacted you directly?
Let's let this go through Tabitha.
Okay. Okay, fantastic. Will there be anyone else in your presentation? Is it just you?
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be just me.
Okay. All right. Okay, I think I am actually done here. I have to go talk to the band. I have to coordinate them with the presentation.
Can I take a look at your itinerary?
Yes, absolutely.
And who are the first two?
The first two is Alima, followed immediately by Alejandro.
Do you have copies of the presentations that are going to be given by any chance?
I do not. I was specifically told to mind my own fucking business.
Ah, okay. Great.
I'm gonna glance over it as well.
And Mel's going to kind of like...
It says Alima, Alejandro, Alpha, a notation that says lots of A's, and then Mel, and then Shepherds, question mark,
Oh, that is nice.
and then the last presentation is Elijah, question mark.
Okay.
Those are good question marks.
And then there is a notation to the side that says Olivia will present whenever she is damn well ready.
There it is.
Well, it wouldn't be a Renashery Camarilla party if we didn't fight over who had to say what in front of whom.
I am grateful that Alejandro has at least agreed to go that early in the presentation. That is, I think that will show some good faith, if tricky faith.
Mariah, if you could just excuse us. Thank you for
Yes,
all the
absolutely.
hard work.
Sorry.
I appreciate you very much. No.
Yeah, I'll be around the party. I think I'm pretty easy to spot.
Absolutely.
If you need anything, let me know.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right, good night.
And Mel will just kind of laugh at the elitism for a second and be like, it just never ends, does it?
You know, no.
And for you, she's probably been working with the Ventrue close to 30 years. You haven't seen her
maybe.
much lately with everything you've been doing, but yeah, she's probably got that Ventrue attitude, or at least the attitude that the Ventrue hold has been impressed upon her greatly.
Yeah.
That anyone who's not Ventrue, pay them no mind.
Mel kind of rolls her eyes and is like, do you have an idea of what it is that Alejandro will be presenting?
Well, if we are going forward with being very open about what the Atlanta Camarilla is supposed to be, then I imagined he is probably going to boldly say that there is a lot that he's probably endured in his time in Atlanta, and has learned in his time in Atlanta, and that it has been defined in its greatness by its, I don't want to say flexibility, that is not
Diversity.
the word. Even
of thoughts.
What's another, integration.
Yeah.
Anything that we can term as, frankly, as greed for more, and having it under our control.
Right.
I don't necessarily know that he's exactly going to keep to that particular script. He seems potentially more adept at something else.
Well, the only way we can know is ask. And Mel is going to, like, close up the thing, throw in her thing, and she's going to, like, just be like, let's go and ask.
Yeah.
And heading towards wherever Alejandro is.
Yep.
Okay. And Aaron, where are you right now?
Still mulling.
Just rocking back
In
and
shock, in literal shock.
I'm gonna head back to the group. I am gonna sit on not sharing it publicly with the group just for roleplay sake.
Absolutely.
If I'm gonna be a seneschal, I need to learn how to keep some information
Yeah. Fair enough.
secret. So for now, I'm just gonna keep it to myself.
Okay. So you do find Alejandro. They've just about finished the flooring. They're putting on the little side ramp pieces now. And he sees you kind of like walking towards him with purpose.
Yeah.
And he stops for a second and just gestures to Denise and goes, yes, what can I do for you?
I don't know if this is something you want to speak in front of other people with, but as somebody who will be presenting after you, I feel like I have a need to know what it is you will be presenting. to our honored guests.
I am presenting as a longtime independent. I will be speaking on what made me choose to affiliate myself with the Camarilla finally after all these years, and that it was specifically the Atlanta Camarilla that changed my mind.
And your affiliation with the SI?
Will not be a topic. As far as they are concerned, I was a longtime prisoner.
And what about Lydia?
Who's Lydia?
Understood. And then, and you would have been with me during that conversation. And she'll just kind of nod to him and kind of, allow him to go back to his business and turn to Thomasina and be like, oh,
Sounds great.
now we know.
Yep.
I think we have our bullet points now that we can expect, and I will say going forth takes a lot of the pressure off of me to have to surprise them with our strange new ways.
I am not sure. Let me put the pieces together very slowly. I am not sure what is known about Josiah with Alejandro. If he is going with, as far as they know, that he's a prisoner, been a prisoner.
And then Mel's going to
was-
kind of like, since they're talking like not right within earshot, but she's
Right,
going to be like, "You're welcome."
There
to
is
go
kind of a
ask."
side area for you to move
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
And she's gonna kind of like motion back to Alejandro.
Yeah.
Is this a string you need to tie?
Fuck.
There's no better time than now.
Oh, it's better than tomorrow.
Definitely better than tomorrow or the day after. Much better than that.
And I'm gonna head over to Alejandro.
Okay.
And Mel will stay where she is, just kind of flipping through.
I am quite popular tonight. What can I do for you?
I'm not sure if I want to cut to the chase or not, so I'm going to because I don't know what else
I
to do.
encourage you to.
How much have you spoken with Josiah recently?
Josiah, why?
So, I'm going to expect that you're going to freak out, and that's okay. I embraced him.
Well, might I start by asking what the actual fuck were you thinking? Was this an accident? I cannot begin to believe that he was some poor waif on the streets and you thought you would save a life and oopsie, it's Josiah.
Correct. That's not how it happened.
Then I would like an explanation.
Could you imagine having the SI within Kindred control?
I don't believe that is your motivation either.
Why not?
You're ambitious, but you're not stupid.
Admittedly, it is a high-risk situation. I am not known for doing elsewise. That is part of it, but can you imagine that allyship is not the strict motivation? Oh, look at all this dice.
Okay. Okay. Well,
With fine. With 7 critical,
jeez.
tell me the truth right now. I know you're dancing around it. I know you're bullshitting me. Just tell me the truth.
I love him. And trust him with this life.
You have given me the one answer I cannot argue. I too love a very dangerous person that it is unwise to love.
How do we work with this tomorrow?
He's coming.
He was invited before I knew.
Well, yes, all the invitations went out.
He was sanctioned. This went through formal channels.
Okay. Well, you're going to have to watch out for Miss Parr.
I've heard. I don't know.
She's tried to kill him 4 times.
I feel like that's a lot of people. It's been 180-something years.
Yes, but this is a Justica.
Yeah.
She knows his face very well.
Yeah.
Are you prepared to answer for why the director of the Second Inquisition is at a kindred party?
I'm kind of proud of it, yeah. Of all of the things, I'm positive to a certain extent you could understand having only just created, I believe, your first child ever this year, last year.
Yes.
That is not a choice that you made lightly, correct? Nor unworthily, nor... Really? I love Sybil. I have no problem with it. I thought that this was a fairly well-considered, not a whim.
Oh, no, much more than a whim, but much less than a genuine thought.
Okay.
An emotional decision.
Yes. Mine just happened to include incredibly powerful forces and a lot of research and education I did not have to do, which was excellent.
I'm so glad it was easier for you.
I have no idea how it would have been otherwise.
What do you expect of me?
When you said that in discussing the SI, you said that you were going to be talking about having been their prisoner.
Yes.
I would like to talk to Josiah about how we might play into that at all. If he is recognized, as you say he will be, then any questions around that might come up have a direct connection. So, do we talk about this together?
Let me finish my task here, and I will meet with you both in private.
You have been exceptionally patient.
I have kids.
Me too. Mm.
That's a little disgusting.
It is.
Maybe work on that wording.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish my task, and then
I'm
we
gonna
will
walk
talk.
away. Yep.
Yeah. And so it's about this time, Mel, your phone rings.
Okay. And she answers it.
Yeah, it's from an unknown number, and you get, what county is the city of Atlanta?
Fulton.
Fulton, that's what I thought. It says, collect a call from the Fulton County Justice System. And it says from, hi Mel, it's Mark, please answer.
Accept.
And it clicks and beeps. He goes, hey.
Do I need to remind you that this is a recorded line and not to say anything against your best interests?
Mel, I was an FBI agent.
Right. Do you need anything? Do I need to bring you anything?
Yeah, I would actually, they're releasing me. I was wondering
Great.
if you could pick me up. Maybe like at the Burger King down the road. I don't want you seeing me walking out of a jail. I don't like that. But I smell awful, and I do not want to inflict that on some poor Uber driver.
That's fair.
So I would appreciate a pickup, please.
Great. Just drop me a pen and I'll be there.
I literally can't do that from the jail.
Right.
I'm at the jail.
Right.
Mel,
Okay,
just
yes.
look for the Burger King nearby.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you got it. I'll be
Okay.
there in what, an hour? Question mark.
For where you are, traffic at this hour, yeah, probably an hour.
Great. I'll see you then.
Okay, bye.
And Mel hangs up and is like visibly lighter, like just absolutely a different person. Wasn't really in a bad mood, but was, internally anxious and worried. Alpha said he'd take care of it, so she kind of trusted that he would. But this is not the first time that she's lost old Mark to something beyond her control. So it was still upsetting as it was the first time. And she's gonna like kind of frantically collect her stuff and kind of shout to Thomasina, "Okay, I'll see you guys back at the penthouse. I need to go pick up Mark.
Oh.
And I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys at home." And
Okay,
she
be
kinda,
safe.
like hustles out, and what vehicle does Mel have at her disposal? Question mark.
You have Mark's vehicle.
Okay, but did I drive it or did somebody else drive it?
You drove it.
Great. Okay, well, I'm going to take that big old thing and leave everybody else here by themselves to do their own thing.
Definitely Granny driving with how big that vehicle is.
For sure, 100%.
Everyone else can ride back with chicks.
Yes, I was used to the Prius, and now I've got this thing.
You did
So
it before.
yeah, gonna head out to work then.
Okay. And what would the rest of you like to?
Census. Because I can. 2. Wait.
2.
3.
3. You're able to find a couple service exits that you would probably be able to get out of. They're like, they're sort of packed gravel roads, big enough for like the maintenance golf carts.
Do they connect with, because the entrance is by the canopy walk, the road you have to drive in to come
Yes.
in. Do they connect with that?
Yes.
Okay. And
And then there's just a couple more out by the Glade Garden.
Anton, are you still with me?
Yes, I am going to break off from you in a second, but yes.
Okay. Just, you see, very calculated looking at visibility and where all the different paths, like maintenance paths and stuff are, just looking around for cameras.
Okay. There's a couple, like, just regular cams, security cameras, but they all do appear to be off.
Cool. This is both a great exit and a death trap. If any of the special guests decide they want to kill someone.
It is. Do you perhaps want to place some other cameras around here?
I had some ideas. Most of them would get me in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more concerned about, honestly, getting the Thin Bloods out of here if they decide that they don't like their presence.
That's very fair. So, I'll tell you what. I'm going to break off from you now, and I'm going to find a nice place to bury my backpack.
Nice. Yeah, my other idea was, hey, just drop some wards around.
That might go very poorly if we need to escape this way.
Yeah.
But I'll bury my backpack, and things go really sideways, we'll have a show.
That'll be fun. Yeah, I'll be around.
Okay.
And I'm going to actually use Metamorphosis, do Knock and Hunger, change into a bird, and fly up into the trees.
Okay.
I'm breaking off, and I'm heading back towards, honestly, probably like the children's area in a general direction, because that's farther away from all the other things that have happened. So why don't we just bury the dangerous ritual devices underneath the children's area?
Yeah, totally perfect.
Fantastic.
But I'm keeping off because I've taken note of like each primogen that we have seen, and apart from Dot, who I imagine is doing her own thing somewhere else, the one I haven't seen is Falcon.
Correct.
And so I'm going to be looking for her on this walk.
On the walk for where you're going, you would actually pass her, or more you would see her. She's on the lawn of the big, like, greenhouse, that big lawn. She was setting up the chessboard. She's now just sort of putting up some little pergolas and draping them with, sheer material.
I'll detour over to her.
And she's like, oh, hey,
Need some help?
if you want to drape a bunch of fabric, sure.
I've done most of the things I need to do. Why not?
Okay.
And I'll help. And we haven't actually had a chance to really interact in some time. It's been one bit of chaos after another, hasn't it?
I've been trying to stay out of as much of it as possible.
I can't say I blame you.
Yeah. Not looking forward to tomorrow.
For clan reasons or other reasons?
Other reasons?
Anything you care to talk about?
This would probably be a bad time to mention that there are certain big boomy events that I was at.
Probably wouldn't be the worst time to mention it.
Yeah, I don't think, You know, our memory gets bad as we get older, but I have a feeling Prague is very, present in some minds.
You're a Prague.
Yep.
Fascinating.
Never run so fast in my life.
You think you ran fast enough that they wouldn't have noticed you?
Oh, no. I was standing right beside someone trying to schmooze, potentially get a job. I was young and needed to make a name for myself, ensure my survival in some kind of way, and then fucking Theo.
So you were there, but did you participate?
I mean, I did once it popped off.
Yeah.
You kind of have to at that point.
Well, considering that you've gone from participating in an uprising to Primogen in the Camarilla, I think it can be very easily argued that you've changed courses.
Or that they think I'm lying to Alpha and that they're doing him a favor by executing me.
I think that they're going to have many more things to worry about before they get to you. From the multitude of things I've heard between Thin Bloods and Giovanni family reunions and the like,
Yeah, that family reunion's gonna suck.
you're probably midway on the list.
Maybe.
Unless you feel like causing more explosions.
We're literally sweeping all of our dirty laundry under a rug and hoping they don't notice the bump.
Yes, we are.
I guess, speaking of dirty laundry. And she walks over to a different pergola, and you see a small person kind of sitting cross-legged in the corner with a dirty hoodie on, and they're just kind of chaining flowers together and then handing them and hands them to Falcon, their hands shaking. And Falcon takes them and goes, "Oh, thank you, dear," and goes and starts stringing them up.
Dirty laundry.
I don't think you're ready for that just yet.
Is there a better time?
I don't think she's ready for that just yet, but
It's understandable.
Dot's plan for tomorrow is off.
That's the plan.
Well, sort of Dot's plan. Hey, hun, can I get, I need 2 with purple? This one's got a lot of pink in it. And you see the face look up to nod. And it's a very pale figure, but emaciated beyond belief, barely skin and bones. The cheekbones are severe, the cheeks are very sunken in, and everything about their countenance is broken and shaking and like a little leaf, just barely getting by.
That's all I see. Is some unrecognizable, broken figure.
You can see they're unrecognizable due to that kind of face. You've never seen anybody with a face like that. Their skin is very white, very pale. Eyes are very sunken in, but they have this dirty gray hoodie that's pulled up, and Falcon just kind of looks sort of sorrowful at you.
This person is the reason that whatever Dot had planned is no longer happening.
Oh yeah. Well, it's still happening, but differently.
I do not know if this is a plan I was privy to.
Probably not. They did tend to be like that.
Did you say they?
Yep.
I knew something was off.
Mm-hmm. She's in my charge now.
That's her?
No.
No?
That's someone who was called Dot.
That's her.
It's not anymore. That is a woman with nothing. No name, no home, no personality, no mind. She was dumped on our front doorstep, a shell of nothing. And I can't leave her like this. So I brought her out here so she can help with the flowers. Gives her something to do.
It's very good of you.
She deserves better. But most people don't know how to look past a bad attitude.
Now I'm going to spend who knows how long wondering if I forgave the right one.
They both deserved it. Your forgiveness. One day they might even tell you why. And she's gonna walk off to her and help her. As you see, her hands are shaking. They can't really pull the flowers together all that well, but she's helping her put them together, as it is most certainly not Dorothy Oglethorpe.
I'm going to walk over to them, and I'm going to actually just look to the hoodied person sitting.
And they shrink back from you. And Falcon's like, it's all right. You used to know him.
Would you like some help? No? Well, let me know if you do, okay? I'm here to help.
And she turns away and continues working on the flowers.
And I'll just look to Falcon.
Yeah.
You let me know if there's any help you need as well.
Okay.
Tomorrow, forward.
Will do.
I'm gonna go do something half stupid, and hopefully it doesn't have to be a thing. And I'll walk away, and I'll go bury a bag in the kids' area, and hope I never have to dig it up.
And so with Thomasina going through her presentation, Anton burying a bag, Ilya figuring out how to behave among all these others, Mel going through her constitution, and Aaron learning what it means to be a seneschal, I think that's a good spot for us to leave our story for tonight. Join us next week as we will be having our finale of Season 8 and our formal goodbye to the Shepherds. It's a garden party, baby. And we will be joined by our very special guest, Rhea Sunshine. Some of you may know her from D4. Super excited to have her on the show. And we will be doing a special little just photo challenge on Twitter next week for you to show us your garden party best. So we will see you guys then. Take care of yourselves and each other. We love you very much. Goodbye.